Hey, thanks for tuning to another episode of The Spiritual Scientist. I'm Victor. Thanks for checking me out. So, today's looking to be another TVD Day. That's a Torture Victor Day, where family members in my household like to wake me up in the middle of the night again. You ever get that? Oh, man. It's like every friggin' night. You get up at 3, 4 in the morning, making noise, what's up with that? Anyway, the only good thing that happens is when I get woken up in the middle of the night is that I can't go back to sleep, and then I start thinking about things, and then I say, hey, let me put my brain on that problem I was talking about, and then I come up with stuff, and then good news for you, I can make a video. So another Torture Victor Day, but maybe we'll talk about something interesting. It's a one-way conversation. If you comment, I may comment back if you're not too insane. And I just talk about things that interest me now, I guess. I don't know. So, I was talking about yesterday how it seems like aliens have influenced us to keep us on the planet, to screw with us. And then I started, I Googled things, and a little bit, I don't like Google. Well, I can't say I don't like Google. I just like for other search engines to be out there, and DuckDuckGo was purchased by Google, so there's nothing, no way to, you could mention a search engine that is not purchased by Google, and I'll try to use it, but what are we fooling ourselves for? There's really nothing else to use. So, thanks, laws that prevent people from being, forced to use only one thing. But anyway, so I started doing that, and I came up with a couple things, but not really a lot. So, what's the best search engines? My brain. So I have all these facts. I just need to be quiet, and then I'll understand. So these are real good facts. There was this things I was looking at King Ferdinand, what's his face, I'm talking about. The guy started World War I when he got assassinated. That whole story changed around. And I'm not even going to get into that, how he was driving and then he took a wrong turn. He ended up being right where the assassin was going to be. Gee, what a coincidence. The interesting part to me was when he was hunting, he killed a white stag, and they said anyone who kills a white stag means that their family members or themselves will have to die within a year. That's our legend. Come on, what kind of a legend is that? And then if you're the king, are you really going to kill a white stag like that if you know about that legend? Like, that totally makes no sense to me. And then I was looking into the Lincoln versus Kennedy. Now, their assassinations, and then Kennedy was in a Lincoln that was made in a Ford plant, but then Lincoln was in a theater named Ford where he was shot, and the whole thing, So I went on Snoops, and they were debunking a lot of it, but then they're like, it's funny because they're like, well, and the rest of it's just coincidence. Gee, that's what we're talking about, Snoops. Coincidence. How are you debunking it if you're saying there's a lot of coincidences? The rest of it's just coincidence. I'm like, yeah, okay, 98 years apart for some of them, but there's a lot of coincidences about it. You can't say there isn't. But here's the meat of it, right? That's just things that you find on the internet. The ones that are, I could data mine in my brain, that's the real good stuff. The real good stuff is I put in a query into my brain. I go, boop, 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 right? And what comes out? I got out. I said to myself, okay, what aliens have been through in aviation through time that have really screwed with airplanes and things of that nature? Let's look at that. Now, one would be the Foo Fighters. So we have Foo Fighters throughout World War II that shadowed planes. Gosh. So let's look at that. So we said, So I said, okay, Foo Fighters. Now, what occurred negative on planes? And there was this huge movie by Steven Spielberg that came out called Gremlins. And then you look up, which I looked in my brain computer because I'm not looking on the internet. And it turns out that gremlins were a known fact that was very commonplace for pilots and airmen in World War II, where they would be going around in the plane and all of a sudden there'd be an electric wire cut and things wouldn't work. And they'd go look, and there's no reason why that would be cut, so they'd say, gee, it was gremlins. It was an invisible entity that's on the plane with us that snipped the wire, that did this, that did that. There were so many things that they had a name for it for years, gremlins. And then they made a movie about it. And then within that, it would not surprise me if the Foo Fighters were spotted around the same time. So maybe these aliens were teleporting there and back and doing all these things. Anyway, so there were Foo Fighters and gremlins. So that supports the theory that I was talking about. Anyway, my commute's over and I'm tired. I got no sleep. You know, it's a TVD day. So hopefully it'll turn around for me. Give me a likes up if you want. If not, doesn't matter. Like, subscribe, share. Peace out, Cub Scouts. Bye-bye.